Hi, welcome to Strength Reversed. It's Amy. Thank you so much for being here. Today is another installment of my summer 2021 mini series that I am calling Decks from Friends. And I had over the last couple of months a very uncommon situation for me, which is where I acquired several decks, and that's not the norm. So two of the decks, I was my own friend and I bought those for myself, and I've already done walkthroughs. One is the AE Weight Holographic Tarot, which is shiny and beautiful, and I love shiny things. And the other is the Mystical Moments Tarot, which I have been making friends with, and I love it. It's already proving itself to be just phenomenal for journaling, meditation, imagination. It's so unique and poetic, and so I'm really enjoying that deck. This is the first deck that I'm going to show off from one of my tarot friends, one of my bestie tarot friends, and that is Jason from Tarot by the Pines. Now, he has sent me a couple of decks that have become favorites for me. He has really good taste, and so he has surprised me with some decks over the years, and they're always end up being favorites. So I have the Light Seers, which for me is a go-to staple deck. And by the way, the first one I edged and it turned out really well. And also the Golden Girls Tarot was from Jason. And that deck I love. It is so fun. And if you're a fan of the series, the deck is the episodes that they chose for each card just really go well, and you kind of get it. If you're a fan of the series, you get it. Anyway, he sent me this out of the blue, and I opened the box and I was very excited. It is the Antique Anatomy Tarot by Claire Goodchild, and I was really excited. I've seen this deck on Instagram. I may have seen it on YouTube, and I love all things Victorian. I also love a lot of morbid things, and I am a big true crime fan. And I was into true crime before it was cool. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. So this deck is so pretty. It's not dark. It's a little bit creepy, but not blood and guts creepy. Okay, but it just has a anatomy book kind of feel but you know, to me there's nothing scarier than Victorian medicine. I mean, talk about like that sends shivers down my spine, you know, like a Victorian nurse with the apron and the little round hat on her head. Oh God. And they did a lot of, you know, I just picture getting lobotomies and things we don't do anymore. So anyway, okay, I don't know where that came from. So I was excited about the deck. It comes in this box, and if you're a cliche tarot reader, okay, you'll get that joke. It's a very nice box. I think I will keep this deck in the box, which I don't usually do for most decks, just because it's so pretty. It has a lot of the images around the edges, and it's convenient. So you open it, and it says, "It's all in your hands." And then you have the guidebook on top, and I will tell you about the guidebook. And then under the guidebook, you have the place for the cards. And then under that is kind of the back of the card again. Isn't that a pretty box? I think I will keep the box. Now, the first thing I noticed when I opened this deck is the wonderful inky smell. If you are a deck sniffer, this is a good one. And the inky smell is starting to go away, but it was strong for a while, and not bad, but just like ink. It was kind of like opening a shower curtain. I like to also sniff shower curtains. Okay, so the guidebook is not very fat, but very pretty. It's all color. And it's comprehensive, but doesn't go too deep. So I'm hoping maybe my dream would be for Claire Goodchild to maybe put out a more comprehensive guidebook, because, I do like most of us, I want her to go more, I want an explanation of why that image was chosen for the card and what was the train of thought and things like that. But it does have a little bit of information on, it's a little bit of everything. So of course there's the history and a couple of spreads and how to care for the deck, okay, which is in most guidebooks. But as far as other information, she has these pages on numerology and the tarot, and it's just an overview, but it's good to know, especially with this tarot, because this deck is pippy. Astrology and the tarot. And even though it's not tons of information, I did learn a couple of things, so I was happy to have the information. The elements and the tarot, and also color. And the color page is very important because a lot of the cards have, this is the 10 of Pentacles or coins in this deck. A lot of the cards have flowers on them, and you can read about the symbolism of, why is this a purple flower? Now I would like her to explain in the guidebook why it's a purple flower, or maybe even did she choose a certain variety of flower to use for that card. Ways of using the tarot, there's of course, 1 card spread, 3 card spread, moon cycle spread, Celtic cross. I always like to read how other people interpret each position of the Celtic cross, because I kind of take a little bit and reframe the meaning of that position in the Celtic cross spread based on lots of people's different interpretations. Okay. It's kind of like reading the tarot cards, right? The Celtic cross spread is like, you could study that for years. Anyway, so when she gets into the explanation of each card, for the majors, she tells you numerology, astrological correspondence, the element, and which companion cards it goes with. So for example, the Magician, it's 1. Its correspondence is Mercury, the element is air, but also the other elements are present as supporting energies, and its companion cards are the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun. And that is because the number is 1, so it would go with 10, which is 1 plus 0, that's the Wheel of Fortune, and the Sun is 1 plus 9 equals 10, and that's 1. So those are the companion cards. And then it has a blurb and little keywords. And for the minors, it doesn't say all of the correspondences, it just has the blurb and the keywords. As far as the deck itself, the cardstock, it is a very matte deck, which I don't mind. I think it feels cool. It's hard to see on camera, but the back of the cards, it sort of has this distressed look, which I think is very fitting. It's well done. It doesn't look, it looks a little distressed without looking old, or, it looks aged, kind of like something Victorian, like you're reading this old anatomy book. And the back of the card looks like this, and it has a representation of each of the suits or elements. So we have rods are wands, we have coins are pentacles, blades are swords, and then elixirs are cups. And I think the elixir suit has the coolest looking cards. So it's kind of this leather brown color, and yeah. Now I don't like that it's not reversible. I like reversible backs, but other than that, I think the back is everything I look for in a back. It's simple, but it's cool looking, and doesn't overpower, it's not too busy, and it goes with the theme of the deck. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to say though is that the edges of this deck are razor sharp. Like they could give you a paper cut. It's kind of, I've never had a deck like that, but anyway, it doesn't bother me. I think I might edge it, but I don't know what color I would edge it. I kind of want it to look antique-y, like it does on the front. It's like antique-y and distressed, but anyway. So I'm going to turn the camera around and go through each of the suits, and you can see the cards. I'm only really going to talk about the majors, and then I will show you all of the minors. So come along with me. Let's start with the majors, and here is the Fool. So you can see how each card is set up with, it looks like it's from an anatomy book, and the card's number will be next to the figure. So here's the Fool, and I can see why this image would be chosen, although it doesn't say in the book, which I wish it did. You know, the Fool is on a journey, they're walking, you can see all the muscles attached to this leg, and it almost looks like it's in motion. Here's the Magician. So we have a spine in a lemniscate kind of figure, and then there's a hand. To me, I like that hand because it's kind of manipulating all of the different elements. The High Priestess. These flowers are growing from something internal. And then we have the Empress and the Emperor, which are similar cards, but one is a female figure and a male figure. Here we have the Hierophant with his scepter that symbolizes the three worlds. I'm sure there's a name for this scepter, which I cannot remember. The Lovers. The Chariot. This looks like a two-headed a two-headed bird of some sort. Strength. I think this is a femur, and isn't that the strongest bone in your body? The Hermit. Now, what kind of skull is that? Here's the wheel with the different suits. It's like the hands of time. Justice is half of a heart and half of a brain. Kind of like the Wizard of Oz. I think it's interesting that the Hanged Man here is not suspended upside down. It's like one of the anatomy skeletons that you would find in a medical school. The Death card. Temperance. Nice and balanced. The Devil. The Tower with all of the bees. The Star. And are these parts of the spine? Are these vertebrae? The Moon. And the Sun. And I like how the Moon and the Sun, one is the front and one is what's behind there. Judgment. Now, I looked up what this says. I will not torture you with Latin, but it's from the book of Revelations, and it says, no one knows the hour, no one knows the day nor the hour. So it's kind of a reference to, for some people, the rapture, and it's also a correspondence to Rosh Hashanah, which is also known as the Feast of Trumpets. And we see trumpets a lot of times in the Judgment card. And then we have the World, which has the skulls of the animals that represent the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac. So we have, of course, the lion, the eagle, the person, and the bull. So those are the majors. Here are the rods, which would be the suit of wands, and I will just run through those. I love all of these just hideous, hideous instruments. That's the knight, the queen, and the king. Here's blades, which are swords. You gotta have a good scalpel in this deck. So you can see how pippy these cards are. And it would require a lot of intuition to read these. I think the Blades court cards are my favorite court cards. Here's the elixirs, which are cups. Love potion, the Ace of Cups. Love, joy, and bliss tonics. The Four of Cups, morphine, heroin, cyanide, and something else. I think it's interesting that those drugs probably make you feel good. But that would all be very temporary. Aura cleanse, let go potion. That's the 8 of Cups. The void, wake up potion. Love potion number 9. And some very positive ones for 10. There's the page. Knight, queen, and king. And then finally the suit of coins, You can see why the elixirs are my favorite. I just wish the book told us why certain bones were used, why certain body parts were used. Here's the page. Knight, Queen, and the King. So that is the Antique Anatomy Tarot. This is going to require a deep dive, but thank you so much, Jason, for this deck. I am very excited about it, and thanks for watching. I liked sharing it with you, and I will talk to you guys at the next installment of Tarot from Friends. Bye, guys.